Hello, Tom. Can we interview you? Can we interview you for a moment?
What about that?
We're asking people what's the greatest moral issue facing the UK today?
Greatest moral issue? Gosh. What a big question. What are people saying? The greatest moral issue facing the country? I honestly can't give you an answer. I think that morality is downstream from lots of other things. And I think the biggest issue facing the country has to be the lack of growth in the country. If we don't have an economy that works, everything else is downstream from that. And I think that pushes out all of the sort of more esoteric questions from the frame of debate, because you've got to be able to sort of move beyond a foundation level. So if you have a foundation of an economy that grows, then you can have all the other discussions. I'm sorry I couldn't give you a better answer. I mean, this is it's a big question.
Can I give you something to think about, Tom? Seeing as you're, the man of the hour, and I love your stuff on GB News.
You can indeed.
Which is, you can't have an economy without people.
That's true.
Right? And therefore it's the job of government to protect people. And one of the reasons why we're out here is because we are killing people in two different ways. Firstly, we have an abortion law that allows for 250,000 unborn babies to be killed every year in the United Kingdom. And secondly, in June of this year, we legalised assisted dying, which will also be a tool to kill people, though under very strict measures to start with, it's likely to change. So one of the things we're trying to talk to people about is whether they think, actually, talking of moral issues, the basic moral issue is the right to life, and that's the building blocks in which you have to start building up. Would you agree with that?
I'd agree that the right to life is a very important thing. I think we probably have a different view when it comes to abortion. I think that life doesn't begin at conception, but I don't think that life begins at birth. I think that there is a point in between, and perhaps we're a little bit too far towards the birth side than we are towards the conception side in this country. But I don't have a sort of rigorous answer on that one. When it comes to assisted dying, massively complicated question. Canada has got it very, very wrong, but a country like Australia, I think, has got it more right. And so a concern is that with our common law system, how easy will it be for there to be legal arbitrage against the law coming in? I think that perhaps there hasn't been enough discussion, debate and safeguarding against that sort of legal arbitrage, because you're right with...
So what is an arbitrage for viewers who don't know? I don't even know.
In Canada, what happened is they brought forward the assisted dying legislation, and through a bunch of I don't know if it was judicial reviews, but all of these different mechanisms, the right got sort of pushed further and further by judicial decisions. So it wasn't necessarily what was legislated for in the first place, and it grew and expanded. Now you can stop that with very, very clear legislation. So let's hope that happens in the process.
Well, listen, I like you too much to grill you too much, but final question is, so when in that spectrum of conception to birth, when do you think life begins?
I don't have an answer on that, but I just don't think that you can attach the same moral weight to like a fertilized egg, like IVF, right? That's a fertilized egg, and you might have like 6 or 7 of them, and you pick the one.
Yeah, you've got a mini orphanage, and then you just scrape the rest into a bin.
I don't believe that IVF is killing children.
Okay.
What
about human embryos?
It's a really interesting question. It's a really fascinating one. I'm not a biologist, don't claim to be, but I think that most people in this country have a sort of idea of some point between conception and birth. I think that the recent liberalisation right up to birth is astonishing.
That happened the same week as euthanasia.
I think that is that I find very hard to understand. But I think that the position of a fertilised egg, sort of from the moment of the sperm touching the egg, I don't think that I can't bring myself to think that as a human being.
Being equally valuable as a 6-month-old baby.
Yeah, or a baby just before birth. I think there's probably a big. Most people have a sort of spectrum on that. But,
Tom, God bless you. Keep up the good work.
Nice to
and
chat.
great. Thanks for coming.
Motion 2, which makes it clear that this is a
So you have it. A GB News anchor, very happy to give his opinion in a way that Labour MPs aren't. So.